everybody. This is a Lamley showcase. It's open again. Check it out. The bottom row of my Carney display is open. That means I've got new cars to put in each slot. And boy, I'm excited to put in the latest release from Hot Wheels Car Culture. It is Japan Historics 3. Wheel Collectors got this in. They sent this set to me so I can show it to you. So thanks to our friends at Wheel Collectors. There's a link down below. But this is the third issue of the Japan Historics. They kicked off Car Culture back, what has it been, 4 or 5 years already? I guess it's been every other year. So this is the 5th year of Japan Historics. And they are going as Japan-centric as they ever have. If you remember, Japan Historics 1, as we call it now, started with your, I mean, it was definitely Japanese, but your Hakoskas and Kenmarys and Datsun 510 wagons. Then we saw 2 get a little more Japan-centric with the Laurel and the C210 introduced. We also had a 510 coupe and everything else. But now we are deep in it. If you're a Japanese car fan, they are really saying, then go for it. I am so excited. We have 2 new castings in this set. We really have a proper debut of a third. And then we have 2 premium, the first time going premium with the Honda and the R30 Skyline. So we are going to get right to it. As you can see, I brought out the fam. You can't, I guess we can move over there. I've got Japan Historics 1 and 2, and I thought, why not finish off this video with a little run through on the turntable of all 15 Japan Historics cars. We'll do that. But let's go ahead and open up Japan Historics 3, take a look at them, get them on the wall, and be done with it. We will start with number 1 of 5. I mentioned the R30. That's what it is. Nissan Skyline RS KDR30 in Panda Red and Black. Julian did the art. There it is. He's gone with a different theme each Japan Historics. He does that with every Car Culture set, as you know. These all sit in the same position. Absolutely beautiful. I'll give you the back so you know what it is. There it is. There's that if you want it. Now let's get to it. I am very excited for this first one. For one big reason. If you've watched this channel for a while, you know I'm good friends with my friend Jay Coe, Gestures Garage on Instagram. He has one of these, and Ryo Asada has said that Jay's car, he lives in Vegas, it was one of the inspirations for this particular casting. And this one is about as dead-on replica of Jay's car as there is. He's got the front grille. He's got the Watanabe rims. That's what Jay runs on with his R30, and it's fantastic to see this essentially Jay's car. Is it supposed to be Jay's car? No, not necessarily, not officially. But if there's a replica of his car, that is it. And I am super excited for Jay, who's just giddy beyond belief to see this in premium. He was giddy to see it in basic too. But this red and black is the signature version. So I'm actually glad, even though we saw this in the basic and this is essentially in this color, it's really nice to see it go premium and return to the signature Panda red and black. What a treat this particular model is. Jay, if I find them, I'll pick them up for you. I know you're going to want a few of them. Number 2 is the 85 Honda City Turbo 2. Also going premium. There is Julian's art. We have seen this model in several basic releases. I think we saw it in was it a Target release? And it going premium is fantastic. I love the wheels on this one. And this is, again, they're really going deep Japanese. We've seen this in the basic range, but the R30 is, you know, a Skyline is a Skyline. That's pretty mainstream these days. But the Honda City Turbo is a true Japanese car. Ryo Asada, big fan of this model. And that's why he designed it. And I think it's got the motorcycle in the back. Hard to tell. Hard to see with the black interior. But I know some people are like, why this one? It's because it's a great car and truly a signature piece if you're talking about historic Japanese cars. Great choice. Honestly, I'm really keen on this particular version. And I love the orange. I love the Turbo 2 Deco, number 11. It's just a clean, awesome premium version. It's nice to have a premium version of the Honda City Turbo. All right, number 3. Now this is the one I actually did a special debut or a special showcase on the prototype of this model. It is the Nissan Silvia CSP 311, the first Nissan Silvia. There is Julian's art. If you remember, I went to JDM Legends. Hot Wheels sent me the prototype, which we went and talked about this actual car because JDM Legends at the time had one in their garage. And Eric over there and Josh were very nice to talk about this car and the history of this car and just why it's considered one of the prettiest Japanese cars ever made. And I thought that this was going to be its debut. It's in a stock color and everything else. My opinion, it had a bit of a sad debut. The casting is fantastic. I love the fact that it went retro. I like the idea of the Fast and Furious, but in terms of debut, I would much rather go with this one than with the Fast and Furious version. Just because that deco is not terribly important. I love the set. I hope they make it very clear. The idea, I love the execution of that Fast and Furious retro set. I just wish the Silvia debuted like this in its true stock form. I love the casting. Mark Jones, I think, is the designer here. And you can see that while there's a few, I think this might be, Eric talked about it. We have to go back to the video, although I'll put a link up. You can see that this one is done beautifully. The car is very small, and but there's pieces that there's little details here that really fit the beauty of this CSP 311. Just an absolutely gorgeous car. And when you see one in person, these were hand built and hand shaped. There's not very many of them out there. You can tell, and they are stunning. I love. And I'm actually quite shocked that this casting was made, and what a treat it is. All right, 2 new castings. They're always at the end of these 5-car sets, so if there's 2, that means number 4 and 5. Number 4 is the 75 Datsun Sunny Truck, B120. There's Julian's art. Now, before I open this one up, I got to show this to you. I got to make sure it's in the light properly. There we go. There we go. You can see in the back, there is some stuff in the back. That is actually, Mark Jones is the designer here. He does almost all, if not all, of the car culture new castings. And he designed this Datsun Sunny. Mark loves to paint, and that's his easel and paint equipment in the back of that car. And I love those little signature pieces that the designers put in there. So you've got, so for you artists, you could drive a Datsun Sunny out to your favorite spot to paint and go for it. This is really cool. This one is I like the words clean and crisp, really tight, clean lines. This one I will compare with the Laurel and the C210 and the Hakosuka wagon. Obviously because it sits on very, very small wheels and the 4-spoke wheels, which look really good here. And just that nice lowered look just fits so perfectly with the Sunny truck. One thing that this is, if you're not familiar with the Sunny truck, you get to look it up. That's the fun about doing these Japan historic models. I think there's several that people have looked up since they were released, with the Laurel, the RX-3, so on and so forth. All right, number 5 of 5 is the 68 Mazda Cosmo Sport. And this one has been on the list forever. For me, for many others. We get to see the Mazda Cosmo Sport finally done in premium. I always thought Matchbox should do this one with their disc wheels, but Hot Wheels has obliged. I still think Matchbox should do this one because if you look at this model, you will see that it's not entirely stock. In fact, the art shows that front bumper and even though the rear bumper. This one doesn't have them. This one has the bumpers taken off, so it's a little bit of a customized Mazda Cosmo Sport. But the Cosmo Sport is a signature Japanese car. I think Tomic Limited Vintage has done one. If you're looking at classic cars, like not, maybe your Hakosuka is your Camaro. You guys can tell me if you're comfortable with that comparison. The Cosmo Sport and the Toyota 2000 GT, the Toyota 2000 GT and the Cosmo, they'd be like maybe like the classic 50s era Corvette or something like that. That's probably the comparison I do. Both were obviously the rotary engine is iconic with the Cosmo, And this is a no-brainer. If you're doing Japanese cars, and obviously Hot Wheels is going deeper and deeper and deeper, the Cosmo had to be done, and it's finally done. And I just think it is fantastic. There is your set. Japan Historics 3. They're really getting to you. They're really like, if we talk about JDM hype and so on and so forth. Look, I'm all in because this is just continuing to stretch and stretch and stretch the boundaries of Hot Wheels. Some of the cars that they're doing, I think they can apply what they're doing with Japanese cars to European cars, maybe even some American cars, but they've really turned over a lot of stones there. There's still a lot of stones in Japan, a lot of stones in Europe to turn, maybe even other places as well, and I love that they're doing this. So celebrate Japan Historics 3, should be out soon. Hobby stores have them. Thanks, everybody. Let's finish off with all 15 cars. Bye.